Well, you gotta silence your phone. What's going on, you all? What's going on? What's going on? Tap the screen, get the likes up. Well, not tap the screen. This isn't TikTok. Um, I'm just gonna come on here and just give my thoughts about the safe gun storage law. The safe gun storage law. What's going on, you all? Give me 1 minute. Sorry. Yeah, we're doing it live. We're doing it live. Yeah, I'm gonna give my thoughts about the safe gun storage law. And my comments about the Second Amendment community. Um, so hmm, okay. What's going on, you all? What's going on? I'm gonna wait till some more people get in here. Wait till some more people get in here. If you're in here, can you hit the like button, please? So I'm gonna go on ahead and talk about it. So in the state of Illinois, effective January 1st, 2026, the Safe Gun Storage Act was just signed into law by Governor Pritzker. This is also known as Senate Bill 8. Okay. Safe storage requirements: owners must store any firearm in a locked container, ensuring it is inaccessible or unusable by anyone other than the lawful authorized user if there is a reasonable chance that a minor, sorry, we're doing it live. I don't, that a minor can get access. Okay. Now, this requirement is triggered if the owner knows or reasonably should know unauthorized access is possible. So the civil penalties and liabilities, the base penalty is up to $500 for violations. If an unauthorized user gains access, up to 1,000. If such access leads to injury or a person losing their life, or is used in a crime, up to $10,000. Courts may also impose community service or restitution instead of fines. Violations are considered negligence per se. Negligence per se. Okay. And may support private civil suits. Okay. So, what is negligence per se? All right. Negligence per se is a legal doctrine that turns the violation of a statute or regulation into an automatic evidence of negligence in a lawsuit. The person is automatically considered negligent if they violate the law that was designed to protect a certain class of people from the type of harm that occurred, and someone in that class is injured as a result. In other words, if you break a safety law and someone gets hurt in the exact way the law was meant to prevent, you are liable. No debate over whether you were being careful or not. Okay. So what does that mean in the context? What's going on, Art? What does that mean in the context of negligence per se clause for violations of safe storage? That means if your unsecured firearm is accessed by a minor, at-risk person, or prohibited person, and the gun was used to cause harm or commit a crime, you may be civilly liable without the victim needing to prove that you were unreasonably careless. All they have to show is one, you violated the safe storage requirement. In other words, you didn't lock the firearm up, and the harm that happened was the kind that the law was designed to prevent. In other words, the spirit of the law. Go figure. So, sometimes you have people in the Second Amendment community that like to fan the flames of uh, anger, if you will, because of the so called trampling of one's Second Amendment rights, right? And that's why, as an independent member of the Second Amendment community, I love being an independent member because I am not persuaded by such antics, right? Saying all that to say this, there is a clause in Senate Bill 8 that talks about your place being broken into, right? Um, if your place is broken into, and I'm looking right now, okay, it's Senate Floor Amendment number 3 to Senate Bill 8. The safe storage requirement does not apply, one, if the minor, at-risk person or prohibited person gains access to a firearm and uses it in a lawful act of self-defense or defense of another. Okay. So, in other words, if your child or someone who is at risk or a prohibited person gains access to that firearm and uses it in a lawful act of self-defense. In other words, they weren't supposed to touch the gun, but they have a right to defend themselves. Okay. And then two, if any firearm is obtained by a minor at-risk person or prohibited person because of an unlawful entry of the premises by the minor at-risk person or prohibited person or another person. In other words, if somebody breaks in to your place or the place where they are not entitled to be or lawfully authorized to be, and they gain access to that firearm, the safe storage requirement does not apply. Okay? It is very much important that you get interpretations of the law from a neutral lens, a neutral place. Because those who don't like guns are going to say it one way. Those who do like guns and don't like infringements on the Second Amendment are going to say it another way. It's very, very important, very, very important that you get a neutral perspective. Now, Gerard, I'm sorry, I'm trying to say your name. Would that apply to a child who breaks into their parents' safe? No, because if you had it in the safe and they broke inside of the safe, you acted within the spirit of the law. You did lock it up. They just got inside. Does that make sense? They just got inside. And so if you were to be sued, right now, again, none of this is legal advice, right? It's just education. But if they got inside of the safe, it was the safe that they got it from, not just it being out and being unsecured. Does that make sense? And so I'm just saying all that to say, just like this is one of the options, just one of the options that I like, the stop box, right? This is one version of a stop box, got another version, okay? And this is one where you're able to put your firearm inside of here. It's no electronics, no electronics. You don't need electronics to use this. This is the Stop Box Pro. You might have seen those commercials where the person just touched it, opened it up, got access to it, whatever the case may be. But if we're talking about it from a child development perspective, okay, their dexterity, their physical strength that they need to have to be able to open this up, their little fingers may not be able to access all of these points to be able to open it up. This one doesn't have any batteries or anything like that. You know, you're able to get access to it. It's just all gross motor skills. Okay. And they have mechanisms inside of the stop box itself, right, where you can change the code to how you get access to this. And you can put a lock on this if you so choose, right? One of the things, and I'm going to answer your question, one of the things that I'm not so much a fan about in the Second Amendment community is all of this, all of this, all of this information that's out here and all of these preventions that could be used, right? And we still got people who are acting negligent, and then you got the Second Amendment community that is acting like there aren't persons that are in the gun community that don't use common knowledge. I don't want to even say common sense because you got to practice things to have common sense. You see what I'm saying? That's why I said I'm an independent member of the Second Amendment community. I am not 100% conservative. I'm not 100% liberal. I am an independent. It just depends on the issue. And I am not blindly following somebody just because, you know, and if you think about it, a lot of the reasons why people liked my page or subscribed to my page, because during a specific time, they thought I was black. They thought I was 100% conservative. I like guns. They like guns. Bam, like you, subscribe. And then when they find out I'm independent, it just depends on the issue. And that some of the liberal talking points about firearms I actually agree with. Now it's a I don't like you. That's why I don't care if people like me or not. I'm going to say what I say, right? To answer your question, you said, is this only for home or is it for vehicles as well? Insofar as you see it in the statute, it's only for home. It's only for home. It doesn't say anything where it applies for vehicles. Okay. I don't see anything in the statute that says it applies for vehicles. But I don't see anything in the statute that doesn't say. Um, Here we go. So I'm just doing some research. Under Illinois law, firearms stored in vehicles must follow the Firearm Concealed Carry Act, 430 ILCS 66, Section 65, and related safe transport laws. A gun must be, that's not true. If you don't have a concealed carry license, the gun must be unloaded and closed in a case or container. If the person doesn't have a concealed carry license, even when licensed, when leaving the firearm in the vehicle, it must be secured in a case and the vehicle must be locked. If the firearm is left inside, if a gun is left unsecured in a vehicle and a minor or prohibited person access it, yeah, okay, well, yeah, I changed that. Yeah, I just learned. I just learned. And here we go. What does it say? I may be wrong, but I doubt it. I'm willing to be wrong. So yes, I did just learn that. Yeah, it does. And I always say you should have a safe in the car anyway. But I'm talking about this specific statute. Yes, it does apply to vehicles. And I'm glad we're doing it live. So if I make a mistake, I can correct it. Okay, we're humans. But yes, you do have to have it in the case. I have safes in my vehicle and stuff like that, so I keep it in a safe. Um, Thank you, Thunder Night Shadow. Appreciate that. Uh, yeah. That's the thing. So just make sure you get a safe. I mean, that's make sure you get a safe for it. Yeah, I did lose some weight. I lost some weight. I'm still losing weight. Yeah, still working out all that great stuff. So here we go. Stop box. Stop box. This is just one of the other boxes. I got another box too. If you like the don't tread on me with the original U.S. Flag with the 13 stars, stuff like that. Looking sharp, chocolate man. Thank you. Love you too. Appreciate that. Yeah. So yeah, just get a safe. I don't see a problem with securing your firearm in a safe. Does that make sense? So let's have this conversation. If you all are coming in, can you all hit that like button? If you all are coming in, can you hit that like button? Appreciate it. So let's talk about it. What's the issue with not having your firearm in a safe? What's the issue with that? What's the problem with that? Yeah, what's the issue with not having your firearm in something like this? What's the issue? Or whatever kind of safe mechanism you have. Trigger lock, cable, and key lock. Don't get me wrong, I know you want to get access to it. Yeah. Someone can get to it, like a child or a teenager. Someone could grab it. That's the issue of not having it in a storage box, not having it in something, and is there such a thing as, well, someone can break in it? But that's not the point. This is saying put it in something. Do you know what that means that you're holding there? Hell no, I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. No, I don't know what it means. I know what it means, but I don't know what it means. Just for the sake of argument. So tell me what you think it means. I'm just looking at the box. I'm not looking at the don't tread. That's not the point. I don't care. That's not the point. The point is, if you identify with this, then get it for you. Yeah. You said it's against the law in some counties. All right, let me get another one so you're not so triggered. Jesus Christ. Got it. Here we go. American flag. Is this against the law now? Got it. Against the law. Here we go. Got it. Same thing. Okay, I got two of them. Right? Here's this one. Here's this one. I don't care which one you get. Just whatever. Just get something. Right? Because as an early childhood educator, I'm tired of seeing children grabbing the firearms of irresponsible people and just shooting themselves, playing around, doing what a kid is supposed to do and being curious. Well, they've got bigger ones than this. I'm just using this as an example. It's just a point. It's just the point that I'm trying to make. That's all. Just the point that I'm trying to make. You know, does that make sense? Just the point that I'm trying to make. Just the point that I'm trying to make is all. I cannot with you. I cannot. Chill out on beats. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? So that's all I'm talking about is just that safe storage law. Safe storage law, Senate Bill 8. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad my channel is not growing and is not as popular, so I can get down to the core of those who really value independent Second Amendment analysis. Because do you need 100 pennies or 4 quarters or even $1? I don't want a bunch of people following me because they want me to say what they want me to say. I want those who follow me to like independent analysis of things. You said off topic, but how did you lose so much weight? I'm a vegetarian, and I do a lot of working out. Like I ran 5 miles yesterday. I run 5 miles every day almost. My only argument against storing, I've heard it creates longer reaction time to a threat. Yeah, if you don't practice. Yeah, if you're not in physical shape. Yeah, that, I agree. Yeah, it's a lot more than just. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're out of shape, but you're talking about getting access to a firearm real quick, you're already out of shape. So you're already in the upside down. And I'm not judging. I'm not criticizing. It simply is what it is. If you don't train for that impulse response, not even your firearm out in the open is really going to help you. You said, am I the guy from the cop stop video? You mean the one with dreads who got hit in the face? No. But if you're talking about the one who does this, yes. You thought I was American. Yeah, I'm American. Yeah. Take them to gun safety lessons. Gun safety lessons isn't going to get in the way. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Tavares. You said, I disagree with a lot of your opinions on some stuff, but I respect that you're independent. Congratulations on the weight loss. Thank you, Misfit. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your disagreement with my stuff. I really do. You're not supposed to agree with everything that everyone says, right? You're supposed to have your thoughts, your ways, your opinions, your epistemology, your research. Does that make sense? Your research. Whatever you learn to be true and whatever is in fact true, whatever you need to use so that you can move. I love that for you. That's all I'm saying. You're not supposed to agree with everything. There could be a reason why, right? You said, how much weight have I lost? I was 267 when I started. I'm 205 now, and I'm losing more. I'm trying to get down to 160. Yeah. So I have 2 crazy gun safe stories. One where one person foot got shot off and the other person died. All right. How tall am I? 5'8". I'm trying to get down to what's called a normal healthy weight. I'm not trying to be, yeah, I'm still overweight, I think, in that category, but I'm not obese. I'm not obese. Yes. How much weight? How did you lose so much weight? I don't mind you asking. I don't mind you asking at all. So I'm a vegetarian. I changed my diet. Okay. And I run a lot of miles. I do a lot of walking, a lot of cardio, a lot of elliptical, a lot of arc trainer, a lot of rowing, a lot of running. I do a lot of walking, a lot of walking. You see what I'm saying? So I do a lot of cardio. Lifting every once in a while, but I do more cardio and diet than anything. So this is a stop box. This is to secure your firearm. Now, somebody said, well, that's not going to stop anything. I don't listen to people who say stuff like that. Why? Because you have the right to have your child get access to your firearms. And if they do that, then hey, those are your kids. But I'm just talking about in Illinois, we have Senate Bill 8. Senate Bill 8. Senate Bill 8 requires that by January 1st, 2026, you have to have your firearms locked up unless you have them on you, or you'll be civilly charged, except if somebody breaks into your place and gets access to that firearm. If they break into your place and get access to that firearm, or break into your car and get access to that firearm, you see what I'm saying? If you had it in a case, you're fine, right? But if you didn't have it in the case, you may be facing some issues, right? Now, Senate Floor Amendment 3 to Senate Bill 8 says that if a person broke into your place and got access to your firearm, you won't be liable. Okay, so there's that. And don't open carry. I agree. Don't open carry. Yeah. You know, I'm going to answer your question, Manchester City. It's not about kids being oopiste, as you said, right? We're not talking about that. It's what kids are naturally going to do within their development. They are naturally going to touch things. They're naturally going to grab things. That's what they do. Children are curious. Does that make sense? Children are curious. It is developmentally appropriate for children to touch things. I don't care how much authority you think you have. If it's there and it can be touched, these are just the laws of physics. If it's there and it can be touched, it will be touched. It will be touched. It's just that simple. If it's there, it's accessible, and it will be touched, and it can be touched, it will be touched. I did clean the camera lens. Let me do it again. Hold on. Maybe I need to clean it again. My bad. I apologize. Not gonna get offended. Could be right. Yeah, the camera lens is cleaned. Clean again. Oh, yeah. Maybe it wasn't clean. My bad. Shit. You're right. All right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Thank you for that. Thank you for saying that. Whoever said Kevin Sanderson, thank you for that. I appreciate that. He said clean the He said clean the damn camera lens, and he was right. He was right. He was right. Thank you for that, Kevin. I appreciate that. I thought I did clean it. That shit looked foggy. I'm sorry about that. Hey Tracy, what's going on? Yes. Kevin, I hope you're still here. Yeah. So this is the Stop Box. Stop Box Pro. Hey Tracy, what's going on? You said now you can see me very clearly. Yeah, it is clear. Thought I cleaned that shit. Yeah. I understand your logic. I just believe there are solutions beyond the box. Yeah, you might be right. As long as you get it stored. As long as you store it in Illinois. As long as you store it. Who is my favorite UFC fighter? I don't really have a favorite UFC fighter. I don't watch UFC like that. I don't have a problem with it, but I just don't watch UFC like that. There are some people who their entire life is surrounded around violence. I'm an early childhood educator along with being a firearms instructor. So my entire life is not surrounded around violence. My entire life is surrounded around developing children and helping people be better, because that's where a lot of these childhood traumas and a lot of these unnecessary problems come from, what you've gone through in your childhood. That's what I primarily do outside of teaching firearms. Some people, they love my channel because all they want to talk about is violence, and everything that has something to do with violence, that's all they think about. Thank you, Rebel Chaser. I appreciate that. What's the difference between the rifle's permit and a gun permit? You just said it. One is for a rifle, one is for a gun. I don't know. See, just because I'm instructor Mike doesn't mean I'm an instructor of everything. I'm a pistol instructor. I do know something about rifles. I know something about shotguns. I've used them. I've trained in them. I've trained people for them. I primarily focus on just pistols, you know. Thank you, USA. Thoughts on how to store a shotgun in the bedroom? I don't know. Get a safe. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's so many ways. There's so many ways, you know. So many ways. You got to talk to somebody who just primarily deals with long guns. I don't. There are to be trigger locks before cases. No, the trigger lock will slow you down even more than this will. What are those awards hanging in the back? Different degrees, certifications, stuff like that. Certification, license, training, skydiving. Let's see, instructor certification, specialist certification, association affiliation, training, notary public, for science analyst, master's degree is on the other side over here. Just a few things. Just a few things, not a lot. We've got a few degrees for whatever that's worth. Hey, Mike. I'm sorry. Hey, was it Narcissa? Hey, what's going on? Here in Colorado, we will probably see this soon on top of the permit to purchase fun times. Yeah. Yeah. You said only expected from a Michael. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. This is the stop box. Open it up. Be able to get access to firearms, whatever you put in here. Okay. Gross motor skills, children's hands may not be that big enough to be able to, whatever your code is, you could change it, whatever that is, to gain access. All gross motor skills to be able to get access to this. Man, I want to own a handgun so bad, but I live in Canada. I understand. All Americans first. God bless you. God bless you too, John. Appreciate it. Can y'all do me a favor? Hit the like button. I've just been talking about this stop box and how amazing it is to be able to store your device. Am I concerned with the very few code options? Wouldn't it be easy to brute force your way in? Sure. Break it in. Use a hammer. Sure. You see what I'm saying? Like, this isn't, it's like some people, see, the thing is, some people want your firearm to be placed in a Fort Knox type safe. If that's what you want, great. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, this could fit in a bookcase. Yeah. Am I selling skins for cable boxes? You're funny. Who still has a cable box? That is funny. Great, Abe. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's all this is. Just a stop box. I like it. Easy access to it. Kids won't be able to access it that much, or so they say. You know, change the code. Well, you could just take a sledgehammer to. Okay, take a sledgehammer to it. I don't know. I'm just advocating for a product that I like. Is anything foolproof? No. It's like saying, oh man, I got this wonderful ballistic vest. Until you get shot by something that it can't stop. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I'm in an M1 Abrams. Until it take, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's, look, nothing to ever be enough for everybody. So whatever. What hat is this? Chicago Cubs hat. It has a 6-point Chicago star, the color of the Chicago flag. I'm a Cubs fan, so that's what this is. How you open it? Simple. Gross motor, and then you're able to get access to it. Okay, it's just simple. The thing I like about this is it's ready right out the box. No batteries, no electronics. It's secure, not 100% secure. Nothing is ever 100% secure, but it's secure enough to meet the requirements of Senate Bill 8 in Illinois, safe storage for your firearm. You got it in a case. You got it out the way. It's easy access for you, and got it. That's it. I mean, no keys. No keys. Am I sponsored? Do I have an affiliate link? Yes, I do. Am I sponsored? No. I'm just advocating for it because they sent it to me. I like it. I've used it in multiple areas and I like it. I like how accessible it is. I like how I don't have to go find keys. Right? I don't have to go find keys. I could just grab it and just go. I like it. And y'all remember when I used to promote Max Safes? I got the Max Safes right over here. The Max Safes that I used to have with Vein pattern recognition. I got the safes right here. I've got that safe for the desk. I got the big 3, 4 pew safe. I got that right here. I've got the one on the side. I've got all those. I use those too. I use those too. I use those safe options. I use these. I just don't want children to get their hands on the firearm. That's it. That's it. I just don't want children to get their hands on the firearm. That's all that I'm doing. As an early childhood educator who is also former police, former military, firearms instructor, I don't want, no, you're fine. You're fine. I don't want children to get their hands on a firearm doing what they naturally do, and that's be curious. And that's why I like this. You want something quick, something accessible, no batteries, no keys, right out the box, ready to go. And if you want to change the code from what it is already set to when you buy it, you can read the instructions, change the patterns, change the code to your liking, or you can change the code every week like I do. I'm just saying. And this is a hole for a lock. Yes, thank you. Toddler innocent gun accidents are what we are trying to prevent. You said stop boxes are super helpful. I have 2, 25-year-old dad. I have 3 kids, all under 6. Smokey, you see what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about. And that's all we're talking about here. That's all that we're talking about here. That's all we're talking about here. Hey, Crystal, what's going on? I mean, if you don't like it, that's totally fine. But that's all that I'm talking about here. That's it. That's it. That's it. Sorry. I got to go in a minute. You say great gun case? Yes, that's all I'm talking about. Just a way to prevent. There you go. Just thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, just a way. Yep, just a way. We just want to prevent toddler gun accidents. That's the legislative intent of Senate Bill 8. And the one thing that I've learned about people in the Second Amendment community, especially in Illinois, you know, when you get certain people who fan the flames of not liking Governor J.B. Pritzker or not liking the politics, what will they do? Misinterpret the law. Oh man, these laws are stupid. Look, the legislative intent behind Senate Bill 8, I like. Keep the firearms out of the hands of children. Children are going to do what children do. I don't care how much authority you think you have. Children are naturally curious. They are naturally curious. And if you are not a child developer, you do not understand this. If you are not a child developer, you do not understand that children are naturally curious. And no matter how much authority you think you have, if they have access to the firearm, they will touch it. That's in their development. They're trying to figure things out. Secure that firearm so that way they don't have access to it. That's it. They're naturally curious. I am not going to fault a child for doing what is developmentally appropriate. They are supposed to touch things. Make sure they can't touch it. That's it. Just make sure they can't touch it. That's all. You can still have your quick access and make sure they can't touch it. Now, don't tempt them by putting it in there, closing it, and then setting it there saying, I dare you touch it. That's crazy. Why would you do that? Yes, I'm recommending the stop box. Yes. I'm recommending it. Yes. Not just as the sole option. No. Am I recommending this among your other options? Yes. As the sole option? Absolutely not. That would be crazy. Why would you do that? But among the options, I am of the belief that you should have different safes for different things. You should have different safes for different things. And that's why I'm recommending this. right? It's easy to be able to open it up as an adult, reach inside, grab it, go. This needs no batteries. It needs no keys. It needs none of that stuff, right? You said you keep all yours in one safe. Fine. Why did I print the fake degrees off the wall? Fine. Moving on. Yeah. Well, I'm going to send you the link, TNT YouTube, and then you can go on ahead. Yeah. You said they're $150 to buy one. I think so. $150 for both. All right. I got to get out of here. Thank you for calling. Please hold. Please hold. All right. Let me get up out of here. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.